of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we talked about changing the flag, or?
Well, the first on our agenda tonight will be Melissa from the library.
I would love to be here on a regular basis, but I usually work on Tuesday nights, so this is a very special thing. Where's the place for me to stand?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. I am here to ask for help. We are, you may or may not know this, the library received a grant from federal money through the state to, we've applied this towards digitizing our microfilm newspapers. We have finished, or we hope to finish with this project from 1853, the first newspaper in Jasper County, the Jasper Banner, through about 1920 for the Rensselaer papers. We're doing about 10 years of DeMont also, so we've got the 30s through the end of the 40s in the KV Post. The KV Post reels are very easy because they're weekly and they're done. The old newspapers from like the 1900s and older, also pretty easy because they're weekly, but then we start getting into the daily papers and the semi-weekly papers twice a week. And it's taking time. We think that we've got the worst of it behind us because the really old newspapers are they're ragged. They were the printing errors were just amazing. They would print cockeyed on the paper. There'd be ink smears. I mean, you know, pretty good for 200-year-old papers, but they're not perfect. Getting into about 1900 where we are now, much better quality and issue to issue. But what we're doing, what we need our volunteers to help with, is a process called collation. And they warned us up front this would take a little time. We did not realize exactly what we were getting into, and there wasn't a lot of guidance out there for an institution like us. So, but the process is you sit down with a roll of microfilm and you just look at it. Is the page in good condition? How many pages are there in that issue? Are there any missing? Are there any shot twice because somebody made a mistake? And so it's simple notes on a sheet of paper. It takes about 2 hours to go through 8 months to a year. Wow. And all the time that people can put towards it, it just adds up. We are on reel 38 of 61 from Rensselaer. So we're over halfway there, and we've got all of DeMont done. So DeMont is actually helping us by doing our microfilm up there on their duplicate. So we are zooming ahead, but we really need to make a push to have everything done, if at all possible, by the end of June, if not sooner. So if anybody is willing to come in for a couple of hours, once, twice, a commitment of every week, I mean, we're talking 4 or 5 weeks here and we're done. We have open spaces on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Mondays, and Tuesday afternoons. And we would love to have you come in. It doesn't take that long to get going. Most people can get started in about 20 minutes. Never having done it before. And just a couple of hours.
And pretty much blocks of 2 hours.
Yeah, we're not asking for more than that.
Monday, Wednesday, Monday.
Thursdays are pretty well filled up, okay. But we have openings pretty much all day Wednesday, Tuesday afternoons, pretty much, sorry, I think we just had somebody switch to Fridays. So,
okay, so Monday?
Late Fridays or Friday mornings.
Okay.
And Mondays.
Okay.
I'm actually going to leave this with you guys. This is the copy.
And you trust somebody to bring it to you?
I hope so. 2 other people here. I will see them later. So if anybody is interested, please pass this on and add your name and your phone number, and we'll get in touch with you. We would appreciate it so much. The stuff that we've seen come back so far, we've already sent them 20 reels. Oh, wow. And yeah, and and we've seen the digital images come back and stuff that on our microfilm machine here, and I will say this county is fortunate because we're calling around to see what other libraries could help us with as far as donating their machine and their time. And there are a lot of libraries that don't have microfilm machines anymore. They broke, they never replaced them. They're just sitting there. And ours are not only functional, but they're digital. So you can actually take screenshots from what we're scanning. But that said, the machine has its limitations, and the stuff we're sending off to, they work with the Indiana State Library through Hoosier State Chronicles, the digital library, digital newspaper library. That's how we got introduced to this vendor. And the images they're sending back are phenomenal. You can zoom in and it's crystal clear, and just the names, the history, the stories that we're finding, and the idea that when this is all done, you can just do a keyword search and it will come up with every name and point to the issues.
I'm gonna say Beth Primes will love it. She's our, and Janet, they're super researchers.
Yeah, it's gonna make it so much easier, and we know that this grant will only get us started.
Yeah.
And so we are we have an agreement with the publishers, the KQT Valley publishers, and we are eventually gonna get it all done. So,
Congratulations.
Melissa, is there a reason for the push?
yes, that's when our grant runs out. Our grant runs out at the end of July. We need to get it to the vendor so that they can turn it around back to us by the end of July. That's where we're at.
That's the push.
Yeah. It didn't help that we had a lot of people out sick at the holidays, and we got a later start than we expected by a couple of months. So, yeah.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Oh,
And
excuse me.
my name's Mel. The other Melissa there, Melissa Smith, who comes here occasionally, either one of us can help you.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Well, next on our agenda tonight is the cemetery walk.
You get tired of hearing about it, I think.
No.
Or you might ask if anybody was it, oh, we don't need an actor yet.
Yeah, we're waiting on the final answer. So, we're moving ahead with our folks that we're gonna portray this year. We finally have them all selected as of yesterday, thank goodness. And, we're pretty well booked for actors now, except for one that we're waiting to get a phone call from. And, this is, I'm telling you, I say this every year, this is gonna be a great one. It's really gonna be quite a feat this year, so we're very excited about it. And remember, it's Saturday, September 17th, and we'll have the morning program at 11 a.m. at the Hall Shelter, and then the walk in the afternoon at 2 o'clock over in the cemetery. So we hope to see thousands of people, a lot of people there. I think we may even, we're looking into a group from Chicago maybe coming down.
Really?
That's interested in a couple of the topics that we're covering this year. So I think it's gonna be a good one. Be sure you come. About 2 weeks before, watch the paper, listen to the radio. We're going to show the DVD of last year's cemetery walk up at the Ritz. So we're going to be on the big screen this year. And so if, I think we're probably going to charge $5 maybe to get in, just to come and see it. So if anybody missed last year's and would like to see it, it'll be shown a couple of weeks before the actual walk this year. So, and we'll be at the fairgrounds too on Sunday, July 24th at 5 p.m. in one of the cool buildings. 3 of our actors will reprise their roles that they played. So, did I cover everything, Bev?
I think you covered everything.
Okay.
Well, the one thing that you told me is how they intertwine. Every year you have a group.
Yeah, we kind of are intertwining on a few of them, but don't say any more than that. Not that it's a secret, we would tell people who were portraying this year, and that'll come out eventually, but, anyway, anybody have any questions? No, okay, done.
All right, thank you. Janet, the secretary's report.
Because for the April 19th meeting we had last month, anyone wanting to be an officer of Jasper County Historical Society, put their names on the table, and that we will have the elections on May 17th. Joan Lindstrom for the Treasury report, we have printouts on that. Sue Caldwell reported on requests and research for different inquiries, and a handout is available. She had very nice things that she's been researching, which was Jessie Bartu, photographer, and the Marshall family, and these will be highlighted at a later time. Judy Caney, our county historian, a report on recent donations, and she asked if the volunteer would want to redo our General Milroy and courthouse display we have there on the wall. We'd like to update it and see if anybody would be interested in going through that. The cemetery walk, which Linda has updated on us now, and that will be September 17th, 2022. The Memories Alive. The Parr Post Office, no progress at this time. And look, and mark your calendars for June 21st meeting will be Gib Young's presentation and musical heritage of Indiana. And we also have a carry-in that night. The meeting was adjourned, and we had the program for the evening was Mary Yeoman Sholey, the Yeoman family history. So it was a very, very nice evening, so that's it.
Thank you, Janet.
I just wanted to add, if anyone's interested in doing that microfilm, I know there's others in here that are doing it. It's not with a computer at all. It's just you read the microfilm machine and
Make notes.
I do it. There's Lisa's done it. Jerry, have you done that?
My wife has.
Yeah, you're going to. Bob Shank has started, so they do need volunteers.
Thank you, Janet. We have a treasurer's report. I passed out a hard copy on the table. Joan's not here, but it looks like we're still solvent. We're not in the red or anything like that. We're in good shape there. We have some donations from Gene Campbell. It's reached up to $670 so far. So just got a $100 check tonight. So that's good news. Next on the agenda is the election of officers. If there's no other officers going to the job, if all those that want to keep the current officers as posted, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? So the current officers are
We
reinstated
were
for
supposed to ask for nominations.
nominations. Oh, nominations.
Are there any
He's been direct,
nominations
yes.
for the floor? Obviously not, you're there, but the old groups, the
So
present group.
the present group will stay in place then.
Yeah, it is.
I would like someone to do secretary if they would, but it's not that I'm not going to be here. I would still help with anything I could, but if anyone is interested in that position,
Please.
please.
The installation of officers will be next meeting. All right. We're down to,
Well, we already talked about the installation, and
yeah, that's next week.
do we need to mention the annual dinner carrying? Oh, we have to do that.
Oh, there'll be a annual carrying dinner next meeting at June 21st here
Yeah.
at
Here
6
at the museum.
6 p.m.
Yeah.
Instead
And
of 6.
we'll provide the meat and, bring everything else.
Well, I'm gonna put this out to the group. I
Is it
make
here? Is
two-
it here?
Yeah, here. I make two things pretty good in large quantities. One is chicken noodles or beef and noodles. Your choice on what you want me to make.
How about beef and noodles?
I can do beef and noodles.
Okay. We've had chicken.
I'll do a big pot of beef and noodles.
Okay. I don't know yet what the meat will be, but it'll be something tasty.
Oh, besides,
Besides
Yeah.
beef.
Yeah.
we had such a good time last year out at the
I know,
park,
yes.
but Gibbs' presentation just doesn't lend itself to being out at the park. You know, musical heritage, and he's focusing too, because one of the characters is Charles Hanley. So that's one part of his program, and there were wonderful reviews of his presentation over in Newton County, so it should be a winner.
It's gonna be a good one.
So be ready to sing or be lighthearted.
Just do the buckets of chicken.
Okay. Next on our agenda is Sue Caldwell.
Okay, I'm going to pass around just a few photos, and these are from Jessie Bartu's collection. There's a box, plastic container over there with a whole stack, and those envelopes are full of there are over 200 photos they sent us. Now, they aren't all from Jessie. Some of them are other photographers of the time, like Sharp and Williams, but most of them are Jessie's photos. If you get these, please hold them by the sides, don't stick your fingers on top of them. The first one is one of the old octagonal building. Some of you remember it, it was here till 1960. The building next to it was where the Rensselaer Republican was, on Washington Street, when George Marshall was the editor. He owned the newspaper for like 26 years, and the family home was the upstairs. Jessie was his sister-in-law, and she lived with the family. And then there are pictures here of George and Lily Marshall. This is, remember, the Rensselaer Republican editor. So just be careful with them. The photographs we have of some of the old schools, Judy saw the one picture and said it was one of the best she'd ever seen of the school. It's beautiful. The detail is fantastic. The other big thing we have an agreement with Family Search to come. They'll be here within 2 weeks. They are going to scan our Council of Defense cards, a guardianship bond book we have, the American Legion grave registration cards, and the Hemphill blacksmith and livery ledgers. And that will save us a lot of time. They will be on Family Search. We keep them. We still own them. There will be no charge for the work they are doing. Their digitalization specialists from Fort Wayne will be coming down here to do them. They will give us a copy, and our computer experts are going to tell us what we need, but they will give us a disk with a copy in whatever format we'll need when we put them on our own website. But they will be on their website. So the nice thing is, the more people see that our museum holds, the better it is. And then they will also keep a TIFF disc of a copy of all the cards. So that's a good backup for us.
Are they the ones that will do the school lectures, or is that somebody?
We're still working on getting the approvals for doing those. Yes. And the guy I've been talking to is going to talk to John Dion, I think it's next week, about it. So, and we've got a newsletter coming out at the beginning of June, and one of the main articles is about various editors of the early newspapers in Remington and Rensselaer. And it's all information that we collected. Not only do we have photographs from them, but we have a disc in which all the photographs are enhanced, and then it includes letters, all kinds of information about all the different members of the family, of the Bartu family, the Marshall family. It's fascinating information. There is a picture of the mansion that Edison Marshall, the writer, lived in his elderly years. It's his home in Atlanta, Georgia, and it'll blow your mind when you see it in the newsletter. It's unbelievable. He was listed as the wealthiest author of the time. And when you see this mansion, it looks like it's 200 feet long. I mean, it's huge. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Sue.
She'll be.
Our next guest speaker will be right back.
Do we want to go ahead and, well, she wants to talk, so if she's going to be a minute, we could go ahead and do refreshments.
That probably wouldn't be a bad idea if everybody wanted to do that before we start the program.
Thank you.
Linda's gonna open the floor to everybody getting refreshments right now.
Yay.
I'm not all over it, but she did things that would call me from like and she was very close to the courthouse, when the courthouse was constructed. So we've got pictures starting with them just working on the stones that they were going to use. They didn't go up with the building. So you get a whole series.
I have a quick story to tell everybody. Went to an auction 2 weeks ago. A lot of times when Linda and I have, Linda and I have something extra we don't want anymore, we'll just set to our curb. And it usually disappears within minutes or hours. It doesn't last long on our curb. So I'm at the auction and there's a group of 8 or 9 chairs show up. And they're all in pretty good shape. And so I bid $8 and I won them all. So I took them all home. One of them matches exactly one we have in the house. Linda said we had 2 of these, and that other one we set to the curb had a hole in the cane bottom. We took them down, put them together. I bought my old chair back that I set to the curb because it's a twin to the one I just had. But I guess I wasn't looking that closely at the fairgrounds. I knew they were all in pretty good shape and one had a hole in it. Unbeknownst to me, I bought it back.
If anybody wants to come up and, okay, thank you.
We'll do refreshments and then.
Yeah, we'll do
Judy will
refreshments and
continue.
then Judy will have,
Okay, I didn't do my business.
not yet. You're going to.
I will do it before
Yes,
murals.
yes.
Oh, please come and eat.
sing it
And
again.
then
It's
I
like,
figure that they'll read us.
I had him
But
like
they're
on
not.
the street.
Mike said
Mom and
no.
Dad are separate.
Mike's mom and dad are there, and my family is there.
That's the one thing I remembered about him, was just having to sing to him.
We can be in there, but Mike won't do it. He
Oh,
said,
no.
we're fine where we are. If we can't be together.
They measured that our stone's bigger than others, and we would say that we were in the middle rather than on
I remember government won't let you push them out.
Well, this is,
You have to be around
Mount Calvary,
Mount Calvary, yeah. There's one out there now. And so, okay. I know, always something.
Getting up's the hardest part, isn't it?
Huh?
Getting up's the hardest part.
Yeah. Just don't get old.
I'm getting it. Oh, Lord, I can get down to the floor pretty easy, and then it's like, somebody help me up.
This way. I could get your plate for you,
I hope it takes off, because I know that
they're all.
You know, but I had some at least, you know, I come up to the museum once in a while when it was. My brain's not what it was
I just asked Christy if she went Monday. Yeah, I did it.
I was thinking, well, today, call and redo it. They have it.
Like, no, and I said, yeah, you do. She's like, you remember.
I could have everybody's attention,
Yeah,
I'll let
please
Judy.
chew and listen. I won't get to the program for a couple minutes because I have a couple things. On each table is mentioning a meeting up at the Couts Library Saturday. And it has to do with Dr. Schur talking about Collier Lodge and the dig that's going to happen there this summer. They also want volunteers. Here's a picture of the dig. I'll pass that around from past years. And he's already done a dig up at the Kankakee River. And as he's continuing this with Notre Dame, I think it's Notre Dame students, and they want volunteers. So if you go on the website, take that paper, and you can go on and sign up to be a volunteer. And since I have a crazy anthropologist daughter, she would really love, and I'd love to go, but it's something I don't think I can do because their days are fairly long when they're going to be doing it in June. So, but I thought I might go to the initial program. Yes.
Forgive my ignorance, but what are they digging for? Is there
Relics from that area.
village? Okay.
Yeah, just what, and they found, if you go on their site, you'll find that they found bones and pottery and all kinds of things in the past. So it's a continuation. And Kate says this fellow's well-known and well-versed in his skill level, so, and she's kind of pushy that way. The other thing is, I didn't know if anybody had time, Abby Parmalee gave us pictures of Rensselaer from the past. Some of them are dated, some of them are not. They're kind of clustered, like the first few are all of the depot. And I just didn't know if somebody would have time to kind of make a list of what's in this little package of photographs. I guess I could pass those around. Maybe somebody would like to take them home and do that and see. Just pass them around. And they're not, but the thing that we found, Carol found, what'd you find? A picture of your building that you had not seen. And somebody else, Hudson's store, because the Art League kind of started at Hudson's store, so we were interested in that photograph. So they're kind of mundane pictures, but again, some of those business and some of those buildings are not there anymore. So it would be just making a list like Monon Depot, and if there's a date, and then how many copies, and number them in some way. Your choice. So if anybody could do that, that'd be wonderful. Are you ready to hear about murals?
Yes.
Okay, I'll have a sip. Murals of Rensselaer. I guess I'll start if it's okay. I have written about the murals several times, so one of my old stories from a column, murals, murals everywhere, which is true about Rensselaer. Can you hear? Everything okay? Okay. The Latin word murus means wall. My high school Latin class came to mind when I checked to see what the word mural did mean. A mural is a painting or work of art executed directly on a wall. Murals I have loved over the years, and that began with Thomas Hart Benton murals from the Century of Progress International Exposition, aka the 1933 Chicago's World Fair. No, I did not attend that fair in 1933, but those murals made their way to 3 buildings at Indiana University campus in Bloomington. The beloved IU president, Herman B. Wells, found those murals were stored at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. There were 26 panels, 12 feet high, 250 feet long. The murals I remembered were installed in the main entrance of Indiana University's auditorium. Other panels are at the Indiana University Theater and Woodburn Hall. Benton actually oversaw the installation and retouched those murals in 1939-1940. And another guess I can click. Oh, I have to turn it around. Are we? Oh, there. Oops. Another famous mural we sometimes miss is at our Rensselaer post office lobby. It's the 1939 WPA John E. Costigan mural called Receiving the Mail on the Farm. He personally delivered and installed in 1938 into the colonial revival structure. I digress, because this outstanding building, listed in the Jasper Interim Report, has been nominated to the National Register of Historic Places after passing muster in Indiana. That nomination application has been sitting in Washington, D.C. in the office for the post office for over 10 years. The local preservation group is pursuing that problem. And that's the picture of the mural in the post office. Still there, still dirty. And it's been touched up in one place. Okay, what did I do? There. Another mural close.
It's fine, it's fine.
It went ahead and it came back.
Okay. Another mural close to home is Nancy Lynch's multiple panels in the center of Frank Fisher's designed Halleck Center at St. Joseph's College. The building was built in 1962, but the 12 mural panels were completed in 1980. There were 13 artists that helped Mrs. Lynch tell the story of St. Joseph's College. The depictions began in 1815 with St. Gaspar de Buffalo, the founder of the religious order of the Society of the Precious Blood, and they include Rensselaer history, St. Joseph's College presidents and staff, President Eisenhower's 1962 dedication of Halleck Center, and ends with the 1973 fire of the administration building. Later, I have to say, there was some vandalism to those mural panels. I was asked and did repair the gouges and paint 3 small areas in the murals. Somebody didn't like Father Bannon, for one. Okay, now, oh, it popped ahead. You're going to do that for me? Okay, that's fine. I have to find my notes. Oops, excuse me. Following this, the background of the murals, other than our 2 murals in the city. Ryan and Janelle Mush purchased the Warner Hardware Building with the idea of public art promoting Bob Lewis's past ideas along with Mush. Tisha Lee, oh, I guess I could read that. That might be better. But the building, the Warner Hardware Building, was purchased by Janelle and Ryan Mush. And Cameron Moberg was the first person to come and create a painting on the wall of the building as we all know it. This is a fairly recent picture. Earlier it was a little more vivid. And okay. There are 2 murals inside the north side of Embers, and I really wish I could have taken the wall that you can't see, but I didn't get that. But those have been there by Embers for quite a time, and I assume it was the son and Ryan Mush that did those pictures. Oh, before I go back, I could really, well, this would work too. The painting, why am I not able to go back? One more. This Take Flight was a mural in 2017. I call it a phoenix, and then after it was painted, Brian Preston did do do a sealer on it. In a presentation that Moberg was telling us about, he called this winged. He shared his beginnings. Cameron Moberg was the lead and first mural painter that came along to the Ren Art Walk event. As a boy, Cameron, shown in a YouTube video, Take Flight, he wanted to be a bird as a kid. And yes, kids laughed at him, but he said there's freedom in flight. His belief in art is to trigger something in someone's heart, soul, and mind. His mentoring goes on, and it began in his own struggling neighborhood in San Francisco. It has continued because often he has children help in his mural work. Embers, under the bridge, filling in the butterfly wings. Did anybody else get to fill in butterfly? That was fun. And the DeMott wall, and where kids rolled on the base colors. Okay, we can go forward. And I'll show you the thing. Come on. Why am I am digitally not able. Oh, there. This is the Potawatomi Park Collaborative, the wildlife mural created by Cobra, Jenna Morello, Emily Ding, Royal Dog, and Cameron Moberg in 2019. It's below the city parking lot and along the Iroquois River. Ren Art Walk photo by John Groppe. He took the purple picture. The third mural here was painted by local children and adults. That's what Barb and I got